Hey everybody. When you think of Poland, what comes to mind? Maybe you think of history class or some dumb joke that wasn't funny. Maybe you think of pierogi, which is a sweet Polish dumpling. But I'm here to tell you that the Poland you think you know is only a tiny piece of the story. My name is Jason, and I will be your tour guide for this adventure through Poland. It's a country that's bursting with color, with energy, and a kind of quiet strength you don't see anywhere else. It's a place where ancient castles share a skyline with modern glass towers. It's nice to think of the past, but the future is what everyone is building towards. What if I told you that one of the most beautiful countries in Europe is also one of its most important protectors? It sounds like a big claim, right? But stick with me. We're going to go on a trip. And I'm not just talking about a quick trip. We're going to dive in and explore landscapes that look like they're straight out of a fantasy movie. From the sandy beaches of the Baltic Sea to the rugged peaks of the Tatra Mountains. We'll wander through cities that were rebuilt from ashes, vibrant hubs of art, food, and technology. You'll see the history etched into the cobblestone streets, but you'll also feel the energy from a new generation that's making its mark on the world. This isn't the Poland you read about in school. This is Poland today. But this story has two sides. On one hand, there's this incredible beauty and warmth. It's in the taste of a warm pączek or donut on a cold day. It's in the sound of a Chopin concert in a park. And it's in the genuine hospitality of the people you meet. People who will invite you into their homes and treat you like family, even if you just met. It's a country that welcomes you with open arms. It's a place that feels safe, friendly, and full of life. It's a side of Poland that captures your heart and makes you want to stay forever, discovering every hidden alleyway and local cafe. And then there's the other side, the side that makes all that peace and beauty possible. Poland stands on the front line. It's the shield of Europe. While we're enjoying the vibrant culture and stunning scenery, there's a quiet, determined strength at work. We're going to talk about why Poland has one of the strongest armies in Europe and why it's spending so much on defense. This isn't about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. It's about protecting not just its own borders and clave, but the stability of the entire continent. So get ready. We're going to look at its beauty, its people, and its power. This is a country that should not be underestimated. This is the real Poland. So, let's start with the land itself. Because before you can understand the people, you have to understand the place they call home. Poland's geography is way more diverse than you probably think. It's not just flat farmland. Let's start up north, on the Baltic Sea coast. Forget what you think you know about northern beaches. There is miles and miles of fine, white, sandy beaches. Imagine walking along the shore in a place like Sopot, with its famous wooden pier, the longest in Europe, stretching out into the cool blue water. The air is fresh, a little salty, and the vibe is totally relaxed. Families come to fly kites, build sandcastles, a world away from the hustle of big city life. This is the chill side of Poland. Then you travel south. The country starts to change. The flat plains give way to rolling hills, and then there is the mountains. The Tatra Mountains, right on the border with Slovakia. These aren't just little hills, these are proper, dramatic, rocky peaks that will take your breath away. In the winter, they're covered in snow. Places like Zakopane turn into a winter wonderland, full of skiers and snowboarders. But in the summer, it's a hiker's paradise. You can trek for days, walking past crystal clear mountain lakes like Morskie Oko, the Eye of the Sea, and through valleys filled with wildflowers. It feels a little bit magical. It's the kind of place that makes you feel very small. But it's not just about the coasts and the mountains. In between, you have this incredible green heartland. Did you know that almost a third of Poland is covered in forests? We're talking about ancient woodlands like the Białowieża forest, one of the last and largest remaining parts of the immense primeval forest that once stretched across Europe. This place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's home to the European bison. These massive, majestic animals you can't see anywhere else in the wild. It's like stepping back in time 1,000 years. And then there's the Masurian Lake District, the land of 1,000 lakes. It's actually more than 2,000 lakes, all connected by rivers and canals. It's perfect for kayaking, sailing, or just finding a quiet spot to fish. This variety is what makes Poland so special. You can literally have it all in one country: sunbathing on a Baltic beach, hiking a challenging mountain trail, kayaking through a chain of serene lakes, totally disconnected from everything. It's a country built for adventure, but it's also a place that encourages you to slow down and just breathe. The landscapes here aren't just pretty backdrops, they shape the culture, the food, and the spirit of the people. You could say it's what makes Poland, well, Poland. It's a connection to nature that is deep and very real. Okay, let's talk cities, and you have to start with Krakow. If Warsaw is Poland's brain, then Krakow is its soul. This city is pure magic. It's one of the few Polish cities that wasn't destroyed in World War II, so when you walk into its old town, you're walking into history itself. The main market square, or Rynek Główny, is one of the biggest medieval squares in Europe, and it's just buzzing with life. There is St. Mary's Basilica, which has been there for centuries, along with many horse-drawn carriages and lots of delicious food. But Krakow isn't just a museum. It's a living, breathing city, a maze of cobblestone streets with hidden courtyards, quirky cafes, and tiny basement bars. Jagiellonian University is a historic campus with lots of youthful energy. There are artists sketching architecture and musicians playing on street corners. Food or obwarzonic from a street cart, or maybe a plate of pierogi, balancing epic history with a cool modern vibe. And then there's the legend. Wawel Castle on the hill over the Vistula. There's a cave beneath the castle called the Dragon's Lair. The Wawel Dragon. The old legend is a metal dragon statue that breathes real fire. The crowd reaction is kind of cheesy, but still awesome. This city is built on stories, myths, and legends. Taking a short trip to darker history is the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial and Museum. Sobering and respectful, and visiting is deeply moving, because Poland had a serious role against the Jewish people. It provides context for Poland's survival and resilience. Now there is vibrant life in Kazimierz with art galleries, vintage shops, and incredible food spots. It's a testament to remembering the past while embracing a hopeful future. If Krakow is the soul, Warsaw is the comeback kid, the fighter. This city has a story that will blow your mind. During World War II, Warsaw was almost completely wiped off the map. Over 85% of it was turned to rubble. Think about that. Most cities would have been abandoned, but not Warsaw. The people of Poland came back and decided to rebuild it. Not just rebuild it, but rebuild it exactly as it was. Using old paintings, drawings, memory, craftsmen rebuilding brick by brick. UNESCO called it an outstanding example of near-total reconstruction. When you walk there today, you're walking through a triumph of the human spirit. This spirit of resilience is everywhere in Warsaw. You see it in the contrast between the beautifully restored old town and the modern city that has sprung up around it. Glass skyscrapers now tower over the skyline, reflecting the city's ambition and its role as a major European capital of business and culture. You can stand in front of the Palace of Culture and Science, a massive, imposing building gifted by Stalin. A complicated symbol of a difficult past, and see it surrounded by a new generation of architecture that is more modern. Warsaw doesn't hide its scars. It wears them as a badge of honor while building a brand new future right on top of them. It's a city that says, "You can knock me down, but I will always get back up stronger than before." Warsaw is also incredibly green. For a huge capital city, it has a surprising number of beautiful parks. Łazienki Park is my favorite. A palace on an island with peacocks roaming freely and red squirrels that are so friendly they will give you a high five for a treat. In the summer, you can go to the Chopin Monument on a Sunday afternoon and listen to free open-air piano concerts with people just chilling on the grass. It's a city that understands the need for balance, for a place to escape and breathe. There's a softness to Warsaw, a connection to nature and art that makes it a really livable place. The energy here in Warsaw is different from Krakow. It's faster, more dynamic. This is where things are happening. You feel it in the Vistula riverbank, which in the summer becomes a massive outdoor party with pop-up bars, food trucks, and people enjoying the long evenings. You feel it in the Praga district on the other side of the river, once a rough neighborhood and now the city's creative heart. Warsaw is a city that is constantly reinventing itself. It respects its tragic past, but it's not defined by it. It's a city for the young and the ambitious, a place that proves that from the worst ashes, something truly beautiful and strong can rise. While Warsaw and Krakow get most of the attention, you'd be making a huge mistake to skip Poland's other cities. Let's head back north to the coast, to Gdańsk. This city has a totally different feel. It's a port city, tied to the sea, tied to trade, and tied to freedom. The architecture feels like Amsterdam, like Copenhagen, with tall facades and narrow buildings that are incredibly colorful that are lining the Motłaba River. Walk the waterfront, the Long Market, go past the medieval crane. The air smells of the sea, and you can almost hear the old sailors and merchants from around the world. Gdańsk is more than a pretty face. It has a rebellious spirit. The Solidarity movement, which was led by Lech Wałęsa, began at the shipyards in the 1980s. That movement set off a chain reaction leading to the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. You can still feel that defiance here. Visit the European Solidarity Center and see the story. Gdańsk reminds us history is also made by ordinary people like shipyard workers who decided they'd had enough. It's a powerful, inspiring place. Now southwest of Wrocław, a fairy tale city. The main thing to know about Wrocław is gnomes. Gnomes, dwarfs, tiny people, fairy midgets, goblins, trolls. Over 600 tiny bronze dwarfs dot the city. A gnome at an ATM, a gnome on a motorcycle, a team of gnomes pushing a giant ball. It's crazy. They began as an anti-communist symbol in the 80s. Now they're a citywide scavenger hunt. Quirky, playful, and creative. That's Wrocław. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's called the Venice of Poland. It's built on 12 islands that are connected by over 100 bridges. The most unique spot is Cathedral Island. Ostrów Tumski. The oldest part of the city is like stepping back into another time. Quiet, peaceful, and lit by gas lamps. Each evening, a lamplighter in cloak and top hat walks and lights 103 lamps by hand. Pretty freaking cool. Gdańsk and Wrocław show Poland's incredible diversity. Each city has its own story, its own character, its own charm. Okay, so we've seen the incredible landscapes and explored the amazing cities, but a country is nothing without its people. And let me tell you, the people in Poland are the secret ingredient that makes this place truly special. There's a stereotype about Eastern Europeans being cold or distant, but you can just throw that idea right out the window. The warmth and hospitality I've experienced here are on another level. It's not just about being polite to tourists, it's a deep-seated cultural value. People here genuinely care. They will go out of their way to help you, even if there's a language barrier. I've had strangers walk me 5 blocks to make sure I found the right tram stop, and shopkeepers use Google Translate with a smile to help me figure out what kind of cheese to buy. This hospitality really shines when you get invited into someone's home. And if you spend any amount of time here, you probably will be invited into someone's home. It's a huge deal. Your host, especially if it's someone from the older generation, like a babcia, will treat you like royalty. The table will be groaning under the weight of more food than you could possibly eat in a week. They'll insist you have seconds, then thirds, and then a piece of cake. Saying no thank you, I'm full basically doesn't work here in Poland. It's their way of showing love and respect. It's a generosity that comes from the heart, a desire to share everything they have. It's a beautiful thing to experience and makes you feel instantly like part of the family. You see this sense of community everywhere, not just in homes. It's in the way neighbors look out for each other in apartment blocks, watering plants for each other when someone is away. It's in the bustling local markets where vendors know their customers by name and ask about their families. There's a strong sense of solidarity, a feeling of we're all in this together. This comes, in part, from a shared history, a history of struggle, resilience, and sticking together to overcome life's challenges. That shared experience has forged powerful bonds that you can still feel today. It creates a society where community isn't just a buzzword, It's a fundamental part of daily life and survival. And it's not just the older generation. Young people in Poland are incredibly open and curious about the world. They've grown up in a free European Poland, and they are eager to connect, share their culture, and learn about ours. Sit down in any student bar in Krakow or Warsaw, and you'll quickly find yourself in a conversation about music, travel, politics, or dreams for the future. They are proud of being Polish, but they are also proud to be global citizens. This mix of deep-rooted tradition and modern outward-looking energy is what makes interacting with Polish people so fascinating. You get the best of both worlds, the warmth of old-school hospitality and the excitement of a generation that is shaping the future. Okay, we've talked about the beauty of Poland and its people, but now we need to talk about the other side of the story, the part that makes all of that peace and prosperity possible. To understand modern Poland, you have to understand its geography, not just the mountains and the lakes, but its position on the map. Just look at it. Poland sits in a pretty tough neighborhood. It's on the eastern edge of the European Union and NATO. To the east, it has a long border with Belarus. Belarus is a close ally of Russia, and a shorter, strategically vital border with Kaliningrad. This isn't just a line on a map, it's the front line. It's the physical boundary between the West and Russia's sphere of influence. This position has defined Polish history for 1,000 years. History in Poland isn't some dusty subject you study in school. It's a living memory. They haven't forgotten the partitions of the 18th century when Russia, Prussia, and Austria wiped Poland off the map for 123 years. They haven't forgotten the Soviet invasion in 1939, right after the Nazis invaded from the West. And they certainly haven't forgotten the 45 years of communist rule that were imposed by Moscow after World War II. This isn't ancient history. It's the story of their parents and grandparents. So when they look at Russia's actions today in Georgia in 2008 and in Ukraine since 2014 with the illegal invasion of Crimea, they don't see a distant problem. They see a pattern. They see a history that they refuse to let repeat itself. This historical experience gives Poland a unique perspective. It's a perspective of caution and of deep-seated skepticism about Russia's intentions. While some countries in Western Europe might have been more willing to look the other way or hope for the best, Poland never had that luxury. They've been sounding the alarm about the threat from the East for years, long before it became a major topic of conversation in other capitals. You can't build a secure future on wishful thinking. You have to be prepared for the worst-case scenario. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being pragmatic. A lesson learned through centuries of hard-won experience. Their warnings were not born from aggression, but from a profound desire to preserve their hard-won freedom. So when you see Poland taking its defense seriously, it's not about aggression or warmongering. It's the exact opposite. It's about deterrence. It's about being so strong, so prepared, that no one would dare to challenge its sovereignty. It's the national version of the old saying, good fences make good neighbors. Poland is building a very, very strong fence. This determination to protect itself is also a determination to protect the peace and stability of Europe. They know that if their border is breached, the consequences would be catastrophic for the entire continent. They see themselves as the watchmen on the Eastern Wall, standing guard not just for themselves, but for everyone who lives to the west of them. It's a heavy responsibility, and they are not taking it lightly. Poland in 2026 will spend 4.8% of their GDP on defense. Poland understands that you can't stand alone against a storm. A strong defense isn't just about your own army. It's about having strong friends and allies you can count on. That's why membership in NATO is the absolute cornerstone of Polish security policy. They joined the alliance March 12, 1999, and for them it's not just a political club, it's a sacred pact. They place immense faith in Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, the principle that an attack on one member is an attack on all. This commitment is a two-way street. Poland is not just a consumer of security, it's a major provider. They are one of the most reliable and committed allies in the entire organization, always showing up and doing their part. You can see this commitment in a very real way. Poland has become a major hub for NATO operations in Eastern Europe. It's what military people call a linchpin state. It hosts thousands of allied troops, primarily from the United States. Having American boots on the ground is incredibly important for Poland. It's not just about the extra firepower, it's a powerful symbol. It sends a clear, unmistakable message to any potential aggressor. If you mess with Poland, you are messing with the United States and the full might of the NATO alliance. This presence makes the Article 5 guarantee tangible. It turns a promise on paper into a reality of soldiers, tanks, and helicopters right there on Polish soil. But Poland isn't just a passive host. They actively participate in NATO missions all over the world, the Balkans, Afghanistan, and Iraq. They consistently prove they're willing to share the burden of collective defense. And they are a leading voice within the alliance, constantly pushing for a stronger, more realistic posture towards threats from the East. After Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, it was Poland that led the charge in calling for more troops, more equipment, and more robust defense plans for NATO's eastern flank. Their voice carries a lot of weight because everyone knows it comes from a place of experience and clear-eyed realism about the dangers the alliance faces. This deep integration with NATO has transformed the Polish military. They've moved from old, Soviet-era equipment and doctrine to being a modern, professional, and highly interoperable fighting force. Their soldiers train constantly with their American, British, German, and other allied counterparts. They speak the same military language and use compatible equipment. This means that if a crisis ever did happen, these different national forces could work together seamlessly as a single, unified army. This level of cooperation is the true strength of NATO. It's a shield made of many different nations, and Poland is holding a very large and very important part of that shield. So here we are. We've journeyed from the sandy beaches of the Baltic Sea to the rocky peaks of the Tatra Mountains. We've wandered through cities that rose from the ashes and cities that feel like they're straight out of a fairy tale. We've met the grandparents who will feed you as a guest in their home until you burst, and the young entrepreneurs who are building Poland's future. We've seen the beauty, the history, and the incredible warmth of this country. And we've also seen the tanks rolling in, soldiers on watch, and their unwavering determination to protect it all. This is the full picture of Poland. It's not one thing or the other. It's a nation that is both heart and shield, and you can't fully appreciate one without understanding the other. Spend your day looking at ancient architecture, and spend your evening talking to young people about their latest tech startup. And eat food made the same way for centuries in a city that is constantly reinventing itself. This is a land of poets and soldiers, a land of artists and engineers. This is a vibrant culture and love of freedom, and it makes the country worth defending. One fuels the other. Warsaw's reconstruction is the same as how they run their powerful army. Hospitality at the dinner table shows us a nation that wants a peaceful world and will do whatever it takes to keep it that way. So what's the takeaway from all of this? It's simple, really. Poland is a country you need to see for yourself. You need to experience it. No video, no article, no story, I can tell you, will truly capture the feeling of being there. The taste of a real Polish pierogi made by someone's babcia. The sound of the trumpet call echoing across Krakow's main square. The sight of Warsaw's skyline, a testament to a city that refused to die. The feeling of standing on a Baltic beach with the cool wind on your face. You have to come and see it, feel it, and taste it. It will surprise you, it will charm you, and I promise it will change the way you see this part of the world. But when you come, I hope you'll see it with new eyes. Don't just see the pretty buildings, see the stories they represent. Don't just enjoy the hospitality, understand the community it comes from. And when you feel that sense of safety and peace walking through its cities, take a moment to acknowledge the quiet strength that makes it all possible. Respect the history, respect the struggle, and respect the immense responsibility this country carries on its shoulders every single day. It's a country that deserves not just our tourism, but our admiration and our gratitude for the role it plays in keeping Europe safe and free. So this is my invitation to you. Come to Poland. Come learn for yourself. Come get lost in the cobblestone streets, hike the mountain trails, and talk to the people. Ask them about their day and their favorite kind of pierogi. See the Poland that is bursting with life, color, and youthful energy. See the country that is building a future bright and bold. This isn't just another European country on a checklist. It's a place with a soul, a story, and memories that will stay with you long after you've left. And that is why Poland is one of the most important and incredible countries in the world today. I hope you have enjoyed this episode about Poland. And don't forget, it's always time to travel.